Okay, I'm back. Jeez, what a fiasco that was. After I left you the last time, we were up over where the coal mine route meets the iron mine route. Okay, well, I moved everything down here. So, in the meantime, I was having a little mic problem, so I was relocating where the mic picked up stuff. I'm sure the mic had nothing to do with it, but anyhow, my computer went to blue screen, and it said the old E9 error code, so that means there was a bad connection somewhere. So then I'm reading up on the internet, and they're telling me that it's the FTPM in my BIOS that was causing the problem. So I went in and did what they said. But before that, I unhooked everything or disconnected everything from my computer that was a peripheral, other than the mouse and the keyboard. I even took out the SSDs on my motherboard. And I was still getting the error. So I did what they said in the article, and I came back in, and I had placed my Windows 11 jump drive into the computer to see if I could get one of my drives to operate, and sure enough, Windows came up, and it was working fine. So I shut everything down, pulled the drive out, put all the drives back. Well, I put in the main drive, the Windows drive, went to start it up, and everything was working. The only thing is when you do that, for some reason, everything, uh, well, I don't know if it was when that was or, well, anyhow, I had done something that caused the BIOS to reset itself. I think I held the power switch down. I think that's what it was. Anyhow, it cleared BIOS. Everything came back. It was fine. And it still had the TPM disabled. And anyhow, after jumping through hundreds of hoops, I got everything back together, and here we are. So, glad you stopped to see the video. And I'm going to leave this train here, I think, and I'm going to move this train over to... Oh, yeah, and in the meantime, while I had moved the train down here, I had went over, and we're going to go there. So I need to get in here. Huh, tickle on my throat there. Oh, and also, as you can see, we've had an update. So there's another thing. I didn't know whether I was going to have a good install of this update or not, or where the update was, because they didn't. The only thing is, I caught one little phrase that said it was the main branch of the Railroads Online that was being updated, not the beta. So I went in and I said to myself, well, I hope they got this thing so that I can keep all my old data, all my old save files. So I went and made a duplicate of the save files that are in the user uh, folder of um, the C drive, and then that goes to local, and then in local you find ARR, which is the company, or one, American Railroads, and anyhow, in there are the save files. So I just copied that whole thing, ARR, and I put it in a safe place. And then I went and I removed the save files so that when it came back on, it had a whole brand new save situation. So I updated. I went to Steam and took the beta off and I went to the main branch, and you see it up, or it redoes your files for the game. So then when I went in there, I had a perfectly clean save files. There was none there, nothing there. So then I went back to the ARR that I had saved, and I took the save files from it. Well, this is after shutting everything down. I went back to the ARR files and took the saved game files and placed them in the proper folder where they belong. Went back, started the game up, and voila, it was all there. So if anybody has any forgivings about or doing that update, do it and save your files ahead of time. And then you can come back and put your save games. You don't need to change anything else, just your save games, and it'll be fine. But you got to run the game after you've updated taken the beta off and went back to the main branch. You have to run the game. And then you can shut the game down and go back and move your files. So there you go. Little inside information from Susie Kwan, the old lady with all the know-how. Ha, ha, ha. Anyhow, here we go. We're going to go to the Ironworks and listen to that engine and look at that smoke. Woo-hoo. And for some reason we didn't get the winter back, but that's fine with me. I didn't like winter that much myself. It was aesthetically pleasing, but I have to run this sound down a little bit. Okay, there. Now I can hear myself talk. So, here's our original entrance point to the sawmill. And then just past it, I made a diverging branch here to go to the other three locations on the map. As you can see, oh, well, I can't get, that's all right, I can't get the map now. So, anyhow, I forgot, I was too busy talking, forgot to stop. Durr. But the engine sounds pretty cool. Okay, so I'll get off here and change that switch stand. And we're off again. Spin around this way. So there's a lot of tree chopping and readjusting track and so on and so forth about getting here, but we got here. I'm not a big fan of that whistle, but it's okay. Put some wood in here anyhow. Oops, not sure if I got it all. There's no wood in my hand, so anyhow, the map. Oh, I got all the telegraph stations in. So we're gonna go. This is where we're at. We're gonna go up through here. There's the oil field, iron mine, and then the refinery, which is up on a hill. Okay, back to what we were doing. I also got in on the Railroads Online Extended, and I'm not sure how to use that yet, so I'm not going to bring it up. It looks interesting anyhow. It'd be nice if they incorporated some of it, I suppose. I'm not a real big fan of that autosave. Because I want to have control of the files. I don't want them to have control. You know, I want to be able to say, I want to do this and that and the other thing with my files, not do what they tell me I have to do with the files. It's my computer, you know. Sure, it's their game, but, you know, they're my files for my computer. But anyhow, I gotta trim some of those trees right here so you can't see the switch stand. Okay, so that line there leads back to the freight house. And these up here, the one on the right goes to the oil refinery. The one straight ahead will go to the ironworks. And then up by the ironworks is another branch that goes to uh, the refinery. Yeah, I love that chugging and smoke. I just love all this. This is a great update. I really am impressed with the work they've done. You know, putting in the spline track was awesome, but this is even more awesome. The spline track was the awesomest right now, but this is like second awesome. You know, all this, just having the smoke and now they have automatic unloaders, so you can take and click on the loaders and unloaders and unload a car until it's done, or load a car until it's done, or you can get in there and you can stop the crane or unloader in the middle of its operation. So it's pretty cool. I'll show you some of it here whenever I get up here. There's a long distance here too, well, not quite compared to the coal mine or the iron mine, but it's still a long distance. Go got 6 cars. Okay, so that says that we're going past the bridge. Isn't that great? Ah, I love that. That is so great. Oop, out the wrong door. Anyhow, I don't want this one. I want to make sure this one's going. Now that route there that goes this way, that goes up to refinery. Okay, we should be good now. Off we go. If I can get these controls. I wish they had button-related controls for these, for the HUD. Be a lot more fun, I think, than having to deal with this mouse click crap. Ouch. Bump my microphone. Listen to that. Yeah. Can't get it to do it any faster. There we go. You gotta shorten up on the stroke, I guess. Oops. Oh. Why would I do such a thing? Okay, so now we're going to learn how to re-rail cars. I must have left that switch up. I'm going to build a yard in here, okay? And I left the switch there. Okay, so I'm going to pull the engine out. Pick it up. Oh, didn't assign it. There it goes. And we're going to move it back here. Hopefully. Okay, which way am I doing? Okay, I'm doing good. Now you want to right click on it. First of all, you go to the re-rail option in the menu. Then you go and you click on the vehicles, and at the upper left you'll see it has the name, it says Climax. Okay, now that I have it sat down, see, I can go up here further and put this somewhere else up here. It'll takes a bit, but it'll do it. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. See? So it'll move it up. It's kind of surprising sometimes how it does it. And then if you hold your left mouse button and turn clockwise, it'll turn the thing around for you when you place it the next time, see? So if I place it again, maybe it won't place. That's okay, we'll leave it right there. So then when you're done with it, just right click it and then exit with the I always use the menu key, and then it takes you out. And that way you don't lose your cars or anything. Um, that's not what I meant to say. You don't lose... If you stay in that menu and you haven't right-clicked to let go of the Climax or whatever car you're using, then sometimes it'll keep re-railing. It'll keep putting the car down in a different position. So you want to make sure you're out of there totally. Okay, so let's get this done. So I move forward. Okay, now couple up my cars. Make sure I'm not off the track down here. It's a good thing this one didn't go totally off. See, it's still partially on there, so I should be able to pull it out of there. The middle of the truck wasn't quite off the track. And we're going to go in reverse. Okay, I'm going to clear a few trees here. And maybe this one and this one. And no, I won't touch that because I'm not going to have that many tracks in here. I'll do that later. Unless you guys want me to do it, I'll do it. I just figured nobody comments or anything, so you're not going to tell me anyhow, so I'll do it my way. But obviously you're learning because somebody watches my videos. Now, this unloading process was already automatic, so I think that's where they got that from. Bump my mic stand again. I got it too close to me. So, um, I think that's where they got this from, is these automatic unloaders like coal and iron and stuff like that. Um, they work really well. Who cares where they got them from as long as it works, you know. But that's pretty nice how they did the other ones, though. I'll have to show you those when I get a video made of it. Unload. So here we need not rails, but we need raw iron there, and we also need the lumber. So you need three components to get the or not the boxcar, the cargo um, tool kits, and what's the other one? Oh, pipes. I think that's what it makes, is pipes. And here you can unload 3 cars at a time. It's got the long platform. This one's got a long platform, so you can do 3 here. This one, I think you can only do 2 on the wood lumber. And I'll show you the rest of this after I get these unloaded. I like these ones because they're not as picky as some of them are. And I was taught them being the docks. Now here we got the dark cubes again, where when you dump iron, you have the balls. So that's so you can relate visually that you're actually dumping coal, not. I would have thought the iron would have been square and the coal would have been circular because it's closer to what a piece of coal would be. Okay, so let's get this out of here. And we got 35. I'll go back to that other tree and I'll show you how the cranes unload. love the locomotive sound. And also, if you didn't notice in some of my videos, the little telegraph shacks, they weren't putting out the Morse code. And now they got that back working again. Okay, so this, oh, I better stop and show you this. Okay, so we got a branch here that goes around the other side of the building. And this is where I was talking about. Here we have iron pipes, or maybe they're steel pipes. They're pipes anyhow. Ironworks steel pipes, yeah. And then these are tool kits, or tool crates. And then I got the track back here. Now, it gets a little more complicated up at the refinery, so. And over at the uh, oil rigs, what do they call them? Oil fields. The oil rigs there are pretty much, I think that's probably the hardest loader to use other than the barrels, so. And that was before, so I don't know how they are now. So let's get this back going again. And then this goes to the oil fields over here. But also up the ways further, it's at the Y, there's another entrance to the oil field. So I figured we needed this because it had this, the oil fields need the steel pipes. Oil fields need steel pipes, crude oil, and the tool kits. So that's a three resource industry also. So to get the raw iron you need for the ironworks, you need to go back to the smelter and pick up a load of that. And then you need to stop at the sawmill and get a load of lumber, so that would create the output of the industry, which is the ironworks. Yeah, you need the crude oil for the refinery. Let's see, it's crude oil and oh no, it's beans, I think. Crude oil and beans. No, that's not right. I think it's lumber again. No, that doesn't sound right either. I'll have to look at them. So I was thinking wherever these junctions are, I could probably put a telegraph station, but I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. It would give you easier jumping around points. Put this a little faster by increasing the regulator. No, it eats more fuel than water. And, okay, we're 100% on the reverse and 100% on the regulator. It doesn't do a thing. I gotta watch doing that because the climax doesn't like to be over 91, 92%. It starts slipping the wheel. But this wasn't hard track lay. It's just that you have a hard time drawing a straight line, which isn't that bad. I figured, a little bit of a deviation in it takes the boredom out of the straight line. But then you got also the zigzag, and it can get pretty ridiculous on the cars. So why take the chance dumping cars everywhere because you got too tight a turn here, or it turns too quickly from a left-hand turn to a right-hand turn. I don't think I've changed anything at the different other locations. I think everything's the same as it was. So one thing you gotta do is probably a good thing to do is either find a spreadsheet or make your own, whichever makes better sense to you, of the ratio of what resources you need for each industry. And then that way you can control how much is being made. Because sometimes you don't have a full load will be wasted at the different resources. This is kind of good that I turn the engine around. Or move it to the other end of the train. And you can do that too by just using a re-railer. As long as you got a nice straight piece of track to do it on. This piece here would be good. So I'm going to move these up here. Actually, I should have left. Oh no, I did leave this lumber car up. The lumber cars, 6 lumber cars I left at the smelter. And I'm not sure where I left good old Betsy at though. I had at one time brought her down here because I had her over at the smelter. Okay, so let's go over here and get some wood in this thing. And then I'm going to drop these stake, or what do you call them, cordwood cars. I thought that'd be empty. Need to put a refueling station at the sawmill. Okay, so our steam is up. No, it's not. Because everything is moving there. If I try to go forward right now, boiler pressure will go down. So let's try going at 45. See, it's starting to go down already. So I'll put these cordwood cars in with the log cars in the yard there, and then whatever train I use, I put those together and go up to the logging camp. Oops. Notice that's going the wrong track. Get talking and I forget what I'm doing. That's good. Then if you're a fireman, you just flip the switch, or not fireman, a brakeman, and you flip the switch and you'll hop on the car like that. And then you'll ride it up to the next switch or whatever you're going to do, uncoupling or whatever. It's pretty cool when you're in multiplayer. I like it, especially if you got guys you know or people you know. Because they're not going to destroy what they build, unless it's necessary. Oh yeah, he's going that switch on there. Yeah, but I can't remember which way that goes now. See, because I think the logging cars are already there. Yeah, this is the one. Because the other one, oh no, they're already in the, well, that's going to be good. I'll just back them in here and we'll work around it. Oops, was there a switch I didn't throw? No, because that's just a stub. It's when you're playing by yourself, it's a little harder than when you're playing with somebody else, because you got that other person to help you out, and they throw switches and couple cars and uncouple cars and unload things and load things, and of course you can do the same thing. It's just you got to do everything when you're by yourself. Okay. Back this out of here. I was adjusting the sound because I couldn't hardly hear it. Then when it gets loud, it really, I can't hear my own self talk. That's another thing with these climaxes. You have to watch water, not so much because they use it so fast, it's because you get so used to not filling it that you forget that you need to fill it when it goes empty. So, okay, so here's the cranes, and we're going to show you how they work. Whoops, wrong side. Now, these should be lined up, and I'll do this one first. We'll get a load on there first. Now, I can tell it to stop, and it stops it. Oops, it started up again. Let's see if it does it again. It shouldn't. Yep, it did. Oh, I just had my marker on there. I didn't even click it. Now, I had to click it that time. But let's see if I run my marker up here. Yep, just takes a certain amount of time. And because the car is loading, but as long as you don't have your marker on it, it's not going to do it. Okay, so let's get this one going. It'll just run through the whole spiel. So if you had 4 guys working, two engineers and 2 brakemen, and they could be doing uh, 2 different chains of industrial production with uh, 2 different trains. Let me get up here and get in this. Jeez. But see how cool it is? And now you don't have to operate the cranes. They operate automatically, which is kind of nice. It helps load the things faster. Well, maybe not. Yeah, a little bit, because you're not controlling it. I should have looked to see if I put my mouse, or just put my mouse over on it, if the cranes will start by themselves. I didn't check that out. There wasn't any instruction on how it worked. So after I get this loaded up, I'll end the video, and the next time we'll take this load of lumber over to the ironworks, And then we'll go back and get a load of um, raw iron from the smelter. I think that's where I left the Betsy. I'm not sure. Okay. It's a bit heavier. Gotta give it a little bit more loose. That looks pretty good. Yeah, fold it down. Okay, so we hold it on there and see what happens. I didn't press the mouse or nothing. See if it starts up by itself like it did before. So I'm going to say no. It only works when you stop it. So let's try on this one since it's different. Okay, let's stop it. Okay, we're back. Move the mouse selector off. Oh, it's going back on there. Now, if you were to move the car away, I think it might do it. Maybe I have my mouse. Nope, there it goes again. So I don't know how that works. Maybe if you move the car away and get it out of the collector box, or collision box, or whatever you want to call it. It would be nice if when you told it to stop, it would stop automatically and not do any more. And then you can tell it when to start back up. Reason being, there are some resources when you take them to certain manufacturing plants that are different from one another. So you might need 30 lumber over at the Ironworks, but over at the um, iron mine, you only need 25 or something. So, you know, it'd be nicer if they had a stopping thing there. Okay, now, also, what I wanted to show you was, before I leave, was what I did over at the iron mine. Oh, I don't have to be there. But anyhow, you can hear the SOS. So, the oil field. So I got this in here, and this one leads to the ironworks. This one leads to the Y up here. And then you need, there's your oil fueling stop tank for tank cars. So you need tools, beams, and pipes here for the crude oil. Now where did I stick that shanty here? I thought I had one here. Oh, there it is. I don't need it, dummy. When we were at the Ironworks, I showed you that. Now this is a little bit more complex here. So you come in, and you've gone up this steep grade here. It's like 3.5%. I'll go over here and show it to you. It goes downhill. See? And then it goes straight in to the loading ramp for the barrels, which are manufactured oil. Those go down to the freight house. So I got this probably 70-meter extension off of the dock with a bumper on the end. And then over here, I have a bumper at the oil. And say these are lumber here. So you gotta have lumber and steel pipes and crude oil over here. Okay, and so this goes back, and I put a tail on it. I suppose I could have hooked that one up to this one, but I didn't feel like it. You know, less track, less strain on the graphics engine and all that. But this goes way back here. You could put 2 trains in here. Probably 12 cars. It wouldn't even bother it any. I didn't measure it, but I'm taking a wild guess it would do that. So that's that. And I haven't done anything at the log camp. This sawmill or the smelter. Iron mine, I haven't done anything. Track-wise, nothing. The freight depot, I can show you where it changed there. Um, we've got a track right here that was just stub end right here. It was at the end of this platform. So I connected it up to the other 3 industries over here. These 3. Because this is on the other side of the mountain. And that's about it. So, I'm glad you joined me, and hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from the video. And then if you want to comment, comment. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate it. And if you click the reminder bell, it'll let you know whenever I have a next episode. So you guys take care. Thanks for watching. And toodles.